Oh, I'm sure there are. But providing a government-funded, government-managed public option for health insurance, that's not unconstitutional. Ask yourself. Think it through. Think it through. Is Medicaid unconstitutional? No. Is Medicare unconstitutional? No. Is Social Security unconstitutional? No. Now, there are people out there who look at the Constitution and interpret it differently, and they will say that, yes, Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security are all unconstitutional. Well, again, First Amendment, people are entitled to their opinions, but last I checked, the Supreme Court of the United States, well, those are the folks that interpret the Constitution. And it seems to me that if any of these types of programs, Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, were actually unconstitutional, somebody would have sued the federal government by now, and the Supreme Court would have struck them down. Again, I think my thinking on it is reasonable. Doesn't require me to believe in conspiracies. It fits within the functioning of our government the way it's supposed to function. So for me, I leave it up to the Supreme Court to decide these things. And since Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security have never been declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court of the United States, why would we believe that a public option would be unconstitutional? Where did people ever get the idea that these things were unconstitutional? Again, it breaks my heart that there are young men and women dying in a foreign land to protect that right, that freedom of speech, only to have major news networks abuse that right. It's not constitutional to scream fire in a crowded theater. It's not constitutional to get the American people riled up with lies to the point where we almost have violence breaking out, mob rule at town hall meetings. Unbelievable. You know, in years past, and not that many years ago, there was a huge debate in America as to whether or not it was un-American to criticize the President of the United States in the time of war. And we were told over and over again just how unpatriotic it was to criticize the President during a time of war. What happened? All of a sudden, that doesn't matter? All of a sudden, all these things we've talked about the last 8 years don't matter? Crazy. Crazy. It's hypocrisy. It lacks consistency. You know, all I guess I'm saying is to think about it. Whether you agree with a public option or not, think about what people are telling you. It's okay to disagree with the public option without believing that the President of the United States and the Congress are currently being run by Nazis. It's okay to disagree with the public option without believing that the federal government really has a plan to kill Grandma and Grandpa because it costs money. It's okay to not support the public option without believing that really, at the end of the day, Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare, as well as the public option, are unconstitutional. Now, there are valid arguments and valid reasons for not wanting to support a public option. I don't know if I support it or not. What I don't support is the abuse of the First Amendment at a time when young men and women are dying overseas for that right. I don't agree with the media being allowed to willfully, blatantly misrepresent the truth to manipulate the American people. That, in my opinion, is un-American.